Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Jude again. Welcome back to another Naruto reaction video here today. And today we got another requested video by y'all. I appreciate the recommendation, by the way, folks. This is Sasuke Uchiha versus Neji Hyuga by the great Swagkage. All right, so this is an interesting battle. On one side, we got Sasuke Uchiha, the strongest Uchiha who's ever lived, if you take into account his Boruto version of that Sasuke. And on the other side, we got Neji Hyuga, one of my personally favorite characters, probably my favorite Hyuga. And, you know, the master of the Byakugan and the 64 palms, 128 palms, palm rotation, all that good stuff that those Hyugas possess. Now, coming into this video, I'm assuming the only relevant scenario, to be quite honest, is when they're children in the Chunin exams. I think after that, you know, the tide turns in Sasuke's favor, and I think it stays that way. But I'm still very interested to see what Swag has to say. Who knows? Maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe it's competitive in other stages. But before I begin, you know, any love is greatly appreciated. Hit that like button, turn on bell notifications to stay updated with yours truly. And if you are new and you enjoy, and maybe this is your first time seeing the kid, or you're on and off, but you mess with me, hit that sub button, man. Because once you do, you become part of the family forever. But let's not waste any more time, screen. See what Swag has to say today.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Swagkage
What up?
Here, and welcome to today's video where I have my friend. Go ahead and introduce yourself. I'm pretty sure.
Yo, what's up? It's Seth the program.
What up, Seth?
Seth the
carpet muncher. And today we're going to be talking about a surprisingly highly requested battle, Sasuke versus Neji. And now, for the most part, we're going to be talking about what if these two fought in the Chunin exams. But
that's what I assumed,
there are a
right?
bunch of other scenarios that we can talk about. Like, we're going to dive a little bit into what if they fought when they first met. What if they fought at the Valley of the End? If, for whatever reason, Neji and Naruto had their positions swapped. What if they fought in Shippuden? Like, what if Neji was sent to go capture Sasuke or something like that?
Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, let me start this video off by saying that this is not going to be like a one-sided stomp for the most part, at least when talking about certain scenarios, because I do think that this is like a pretty interesting battle.
I agree.
You know, I'm getting a little bit tired of talking about people getting fucking raped into the ground. But, like,
sometimes you just gotta, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but I will say, Neji Wank. Oh my god. There are people who think Shippuden Neji could beat Sorcery. There are people who think Neji could beat Kakazu. There are people who think Neji could beat Itachi. I mean,
oh god damn.
Thread that I found where one guy posted that he thinks Chunin exam Neji could beat 5 Kage Summit Sasuke without MS. So no, Neji, it's
what the fuck?
Like crazy. And a lot of people like to cite the numbers in the data book. And while a lot of the information in the data book is credible, the numbers that people like to cite, no. Like Choji, yeah, we actually sat here and looked at examples for like 2 hours before starting. Like, Choji's skill with hand seals goes down from the second data book to the third. He's also got 0.5 intelligence at the start of the
what the fuck?
Vegetable.
Yeah, I know,
that's hilarious,
right?
dude.
And my favorite, personally, is that Kid Naruto has equal speed to the third Hokage.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Nice.
The data book, like, numbers, but we can cite the things that they say about jutsu and characters aside from the raw numbers. I think let's see, they're not listed as numbers if you actually...
All right, guys, so to their point, don't take numbers as concrete shit, all right? Anime is different than the real world. In the real world, it's about statistics, right? From medicine to politics, all that bullshit. It's about statistics. In anime, there is inconsistencies. The data books definitely have inconsistencies, such as the one they fucking stated. And like, Naruto's speed being relative to the third Hokage's as a kid when he's barely a fucking genin. Like, come on. Just make sure that what you're hearing sounds logical, at least in the anime world, right? Let's continue, though. That was hilarious, though.
Actually own the data book. They're just listed as these like little Budokai 3 stat type deals, and they're just meant to give you a general idea of what the person is capable of. But anyways, enough of this introductory bit. So let's start off with scenario 1. Sasuke versus Neji when they first met, and they were talking shit to each other, you know, like start of the
Facts.
Chunin exams.
Neji cream pies. No difficulty.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people are probably going to be surprised to hear that from the sauce tart himself, Swagkage, but there's nothing Sasuke could do. I mean, like, he has like a 1 and 2 Tomoe Sharingan and like no curse mark. You know, his taijutsu is still decent. Like, don't downplay
for beginning, right?
Sasuke's
Yeah.
abilities at the beginning of the series. He did kind of dick onto like really famous Chunin, but still, yeah, Neji shits on Sasuke. Like, it's
Fireball
not
Jutsu
even
ain't enough.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's like I think a good example of what would happen would be kind of like Rock Lee versus Sasuke, where you just kind of fucking shat on him. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And
Probably
that
worse,
was like
though.
no games.
Yeah,
That was
probably
no
worse.
games.
he's doing his weights too. Just shat on him. Just like that. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of bad. Oh my god. Beginning of Chunin, damn Sasuke is kind of fodder. Holy shit.
Now I don't know how credible you guys think this is, but when Rock Lee did have a flashback of him fighting Neji, there's a flashback where Neji beat him without even using the Byakugan.
Oh God,
I feel like
So,
Lee
whipped
still
his
had weights on
ass.
and no gates because Neji was like visibly surprised
Yeah.
when he saw Lee
Yeah,
the 4th gate
definitely.
open.
He was like, "Whoa."
What the fuck?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to fight this kid. But then Gaara survived. Now we're
Right.
not gonna wank part 1 Neji too heavily and say he's like top level, but he's
What the?
definitely beating this Sasuke when they meet. One thing that's important to keep in mind is that Neji showed no significant growth between the start of the Chunin exams and the final round of the Chunin exams. I don't really think he trained that heavily. Granted, he does train his ass off. I'm not gonna assume that he didn't train for the Chunin exams, but Sasuke trained much
Hard. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Neji doesn't seem to have shown any new abilities or anything other than maybe like the trigrams or whatever. But
Yeah.
that's about it. He didn't grow
Well,
any
the
stronger.
64 palms, like, I don't even know if he developed that for. He could have developed that for the Chunin exams, but I mean, regardless, I feel like he had it beforehand. And
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
most
I'm
people are just gonna assume he
kind
had
of
it beforehand.
assuming that as
Yeah,
well.
That's a wrap. But as for Chunin exams, so if Sasuke had been matched up against Neji and Naruto had been matched up against Gaara, or Shikamaru had been matched up against Gaara, or like the bracket got all fucked up, what do you think would happen there?
Okay, so Neji versus Sasuke in the Chunin exams is probably one of the biggest debates, and Naruto versus battles.
Definitely.
It's pretty
like,
complicated.
It's huge. Yeah, I agree.
So one of the things about Neji that we know is that he was capable of actually kind of toying with Naruto a pretty
Kind
good
of?
bit. Like,
Kind of.
yeah,
Like
kind
that
of.
whole battle was a stomp, and
Yeah.
then he got like, it was so stupid how he won. He just came through the ground and fucking one-shot Neji with a punch to the
Now-
chin.
Now, this same Naruto was considered stronger than Sasuke. Like, Sasuke thought he was superior to him, and like we know that Naruto was taking on dual Tomo Sharingan Sasuke post Gaara, so Sasuke was probably stronger, and
Yeah.
Naruto was confident he
Well,
was gonna win the whole
granted,
time.
that was past his training with Jiraiya.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Yeah,
all
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
But still, I
Yeah.
think this Naruto is comparable. Like, it's not like Naruto would have been able to hit Neji with a Rasengan or anything like that anyway.
Yeah.
And it's not like his basic skills got grew significantly. It's really just like, Neji just could not be taken out by a bunch of shadow clones. And now I do think that the fight kind of downplayed Naruto because, like, if he wanted to summon 2,000 shadow clones, he certainly
Oh
could
my
have.
god, yeah, he really.
Jesus, that is
But,
true. Yes.
I think he was trying to conserve his chakra for when he fought Sasuke. So, it is a bit iffy. A lot like it's really difficult to scale Neji from this fight. Whereas, Sasuke,
is.
we didn't get a great look at what he was capable of against Gaara because he's as fast as weightlessly, or almost as fast as anyway. And he's also got the Sharingan reaction time amp, the ranged ninjutsu, and all that sort of stuff. But the only thing he really did against Gaara was like attack him a couple times and then try and fight a fucking ball of dough and sand. And that was it.
So yeah, where I was going with that though is that basically Naruto versus Sasuke is he was able to, he was more capable of fighting him. Is what I'm trying to say. Is like he was.
Yeah.
It's very clear that Neji's taijutsu is superior to at least just normal Sharingan Sasuke. Now,
Yeah.
curse mark is something completely different.
Yeah,
Now-
because he shit on the Sound Ninja.
Yeah. Okay, so if we're going to Neji versus Sasuke, the main thing that comes to mind is that Neji can counter just about everything Sasuke really has, except for, in my opinion, just brute forcing him with a curse mark. Now,
Or
what
Chidori.
or Chidori, yeah, Chidori is what I was going to mention. So the main thing I see happening, right, is Sasuke is going to try to Chidori this guy.
Oh, for sure.
Neji is probably going to try to rotation that, right? He's going to try to block
and
it.
I feel like Neji would do it just to flex too, like he was against Naruto the whole time.
Yeah.
Because if he really wanted to win that fight, he would have fucking dicked Naruto's chakra points down from the get-go.
Yeah, and here's another thing as well. If Sasuke does get his chakra points dicked down, the big thing with Naruto is that despite his chakra points getting destroyed, he can still activate QB chakra and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he had really high chakra reserves in general. And then with Sasuke, it's like, okay, if he gets chakra point, it might be different. Although you could argue maybe the curse mark would have a similar effect.
The curse mark doesn't draw from, like, the curse mark does not amp his chakra or anything like that. Yeah, it's outside energy being injected into his body.
Correct. It's kind of like, it's a kind of senjutsu, right?
So he would get Orochimaru's chakra and be able to stand up anyway.
Yeah, so he would actually be able to come.
Yeah, I want to make this point. The curse mark, which I could safely say is a former senjutsu, because keep in mind, now I'm going kind of far into Shippuden, when Naruto and Sasuke attacked Jubito's True Seeking Orb, they both needed to use senjutsu. So Sasuke at that point didn't have the curse mark. He did get Jugo's help, who is the ground zero of the curse mark. He is born with the curse mark, and it is confirmed to be senjutsu because it mixed with Naruto's Sage Mode jutsu, right? His Sage Mode ninjutsu attack against Jubito. So we can safely imply Sasuke's curse mark is outside help. It is not from within. It's outside help. It's a form of senjutsu, right? So that's all I have to say. Let's continue, though.
Back, even if his chakra points were blocked. And if
the thing about the curse mark is he wasn't used to using it yet. He hadn't been conditioned because he hadn't eaten that pill. It's a bit weird. I'm not sure when Sasuke got control over the curse mark, because like right after the fight with Gaara, he just gets Tsukuyomi'd by Itachi, left in the hospital, and then he fights Naruto, and all of a sudden he's able to freely use the curse mark against the Sound 4. And so like I don't really know how much effect the pill had, but I know that after his fight with Gaara, when he ended up chasing Gaara into the forest, the curse mark took him over and he was paralyzed. A lot of people are going to say that that might be what happens here. The thing is, though, that was because Sasuke exhausted all of his chakra and the curse mark, like, took over. You know, when somebody drains all of their chakra pool, the curse mark kind of, like, just, like, eats away at their body. It's exactly what happened when Sasuke exhausted all of his chakra in the fight against Itachi, and Orochimaru broke free because of that. It's similar. That's the reason Sasuke was paralyzed. So I don't know if the curse mark would paralyze him here, or if it would power him up. I know he wasn't very happy when it started breaking free in the fight against Yoroi, but it's very weird how he would interact with it. I know Kakashi sealed it, so he has more control over it. It's iffy whether he can use it or not.
Right.
But I just think it's safe to say that he's not going to get paralyzed or anything like that, at least unless he spams Chidori like he did against Gaara, you know?
Right.
Well, here's something else as well, is that Gaara was able to take on 5 Gates Lee, take hits from him.
Yeah, and base.
Still not cough up blood or nothing. But one Chidori from Sasuke, not even a curse mark, just base Sasuke.
Gets hit, right? You got hit.
Like tapping him, yeah.
Was able to not only penetrate Gaara, but
penetrate his big fucking shield.
Correct.
Shield. Now, here's my final argument for Sasuke versus Neji, right? So Naruto versus Neji, they had one final clash, right? Where Naruto comes at him with the QB chakra and a kunai.
Yeah.
and is able to basically exert equal force to the palms.
Yeah.
The
what
palm
happened,
rotation.
what it is as if you can force the palm rotation to spin faster in the opposite direction, it will undo it.
Right.
Yeah. And then, you know, Sasuke, if he did something similar, but with the curse mark
and
Chidori, you might be having something like, just imagine, you know, 5 Gates Lee
fucking arm just severed, yeah.
Like, let's be real. If the Chidori and base can destroy something that 5 Gates can't, give him the curse mark, which is what, like 2 through 5 times. Well, the second mark is like 10
10,
times.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
Form.
so the first
mark is like
5 times.
Probably like
2
5.
through 5 probably.
Well, let's just put this into perspective. Granted, this was Lee with weights, but Lee with weights couldn't do fucking anything to Dosu, Kin, and Zaku.
Correct.
First gate open primary Lotus, actually.
No, he took off his weights for Gaara.
No, I'm talking about against the Sound Ninja, right?
Yeah.
Against Dosu, Kin, and Zaku. Yeah, he tried to primary Lotus Dosu, and Zaku was able to make a cushion by like pushing the ground up a little bit, and so Dosu tanked that, but then Sasuke like fucking cocky willied Zaku in like 2 seconds.
Broke his fucking arms, right?
Curse mark, and this was base Sasuke without Lee's taijutsu or any of that. So yeah, the curse mark is a huge amp, even
definitely
just curse mark stage 1. Yep. So I think the Chidori would definitely be able to penetrate the rotation area.
Kunai could. I mean, let's be real. This fucking the Chidori, y'all sleeping on it. It's basically
very powerful
Rasengan level, right?
Yeah.
And the Rasengan was made by the 4th Hokage. It's like a Kage jutsu, basically.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, the Chidori is what happened when Kakashi attempted to add lightning style to the Rasengan and failed. So it's like a Kage jutsu. And I'm pretty sure it's breaking through a fucking Genin level rotation. Especially if it eats up so much chakra that Sasuke can only use it twice a day.
Correct.
So I think with the Sharingan base Sasuke in terms of taijutsu, Neji probably would sweep him.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I said, if that does happen, if Neji does push Sasuke into a corner, like I said, the curse mark will override block chakra points.
Yeah,
because it's external energy.
Man, this fight is so weird because there's so many variables at play here, and I mean, the thing is, I do not think that Neji is like faster in terms of travel speed than weightlessly. Like, I think Sasuke would be able to dodge a lot of his. I think in striking speed, like he can move his arms faster than Lee can. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is, and like. I honestly think Sasuke's dodging most of Neji's strikes, especially if Naruto was able to move.
Well, he's doing better than Naruto in hand-to-hand, that's for sure.
Definitely, yes.
And, well, Neji couldn't dodge Naruto coming up from underground, and Lee definitely would have been able to dodge that. So, I'm pretty sure Sasuke's faster, so he'll probably be able to dodge most of Neji's strikes. But again, taijutsu's a bad idea. It'll probably come down to Chidori, or like Fire Style, or Phoenix Flower, or whatever. It really just depends.
And another thing as well is that Sasuke can not only do it once like Naruto can with the Kyuubi chakra, he can do it twice. So in my opinion, I just see Sasuke.
Well, Naruto can use the Rasengan more than once.
In the Chunin exams, Naruto just had like he used the Kyuubi chakra and then he did one clash with his and then it was like
I get what you mean. Yeah. It is tricky, but
it's very tricky. This is a very tricky matchup.
I feel like Neji going up against the same Gaara that Sasuke fought would not have lasted nearly as long as Sasuke did. No way.
No way. I mean, there's just nothing he really could have done. So I think Chunin exam Sasuke would actually take it. I just feel like
I would be high diff, like 9.5 out of 10.
He would be exhausted.
Be very, very tough.
And he wouldn't have been able to do anything against Gaara.
Gaara probably would have swept the village.
Yeah.
So, and then Final Valley, of course.
Well, I mean, there's a possibility that Neji could win again, like if the curse mark doesn't refuel Sasuke after the 64 palms or whatever. But like, there's a lot of like, again, there are many variables. But if everything goes as both you and I imagine it should, then Sasuke should win.
Yeah.
But I guess, it's possible for Neji to win as well. It's just, But you were saying Final Valley, this is a completely different story. I'll let you go ahead.
So let me give my take on that. That's probably the most competitive one I'm assuming, and at least in my opinion. Now, there's the question of what would the curse mark do to Sasuke, right? We saw what it could do in the forest of the Chunin exams. He fucked up Team Dosu, and they were scared shitless. So it could possibly do that to him. But also, when he was fighting in the preliminary round, I believe it was affecting him in the wrong way. Like he was struggling to beat, I believe, one of Team Kabuto's members. I think it was Yoroi is his name, the guy that could absorb chakra. So that's a pain in the ass, right? Fighting someone that absorbs chakra. And it was hurting him. It wasn't helping him. It was hurting him. Or either that or he wasn't trying to awaken it. So there's that. But obviously after he got a little amp by training with Kakashi, learned the Chidori. He got some help with that curse mark to keep it under wraps. In Taijutsu battle, it wouldn't go well for Sasuke. I think it would awaken his curse mark. He'd probably lose in an exchange with Neji, straight up Taijutsu, right? I think he would probably try to, yeah, like they said, he'll probably try to chidori Neji. Now, here's the thing. I think he's just more powerful than Neji, right? Like straight up power, he's a powerhouse. He's stronger than Rock Lee. Rock Lee couldn't break, he couldn't break Gaara's guard, right? His shield or nothing. And in the 5th gate state, he had 5 gates open, and he couldn't break Gaara's shield, right? Now the chidori breaks right through it and hits Gaara himself. It hits him himself, and he's bleeding and shit. I think it'd be too powerful with the curse mark. Now, without the curse mark, it'd be very, very tough. The chidori would still be very dangerous. It would break the palm rotation. I agree. It would break the palm rotation. Neji, what would he do against the chidori coming at him? Let's see. He's running at him. He uses palm rotation. It might hit him. It might break through and hit him. Now, Sasuke is relative to Rock Lee without weights. Now, he's not as fast as Rock Lee in the 5th gate, right? He's not as fast. He is more powerful, but he's not as fast. I think we can all assume that. But Neji's never faced the 5 gates. He was surprised by the 4 gates. So I'm assuming Lee has opened a couple gates against Lee. Excuse me. Yeah, Lee has opened a couple gates against Neji, and he's been able to keep up with him because obviously he thought nothing of Lee until he saw him open like the 4th, 5th gate. He was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to fight that dude." Like he recognized it. So I'm gonna say Sasuke's speed is not that of the 5th gate. He's probably slower than Lee, so I don't see him winning in a taijutsu exchange. Could Neji dodge the chidori? I think he'd try to palm rotation it, and I don't know if he'd have enough time because he's spinning, he's busy with the rotation, and then it breaks it, boom, he gets hit by the chidori, and he dies. He'll probably die. I just don't see him dealing with that. Yeah, I say Sasuke wins 9 out of 10 times with high difficulty as well. Neji could win if our assumption about the curse mark is incorrect. If he hits, the vital chakra points of Sasuke and the curse mark isn't useful, he wins. He wins. So there's that question we just can't answer. It's just unknown. You got to use implication and kind of make a guess, throw up a coin and just have a final conclusion. But, it's very, very tight battle. It's very tightly contested. But let's continue.
And start.
Final Valley just absolutely shit stomps, no difficulty.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, it's Sasuke in the Final Valley, like the equivalent. Basically, his base form is the equivalent of like his dual Sharingan, if not more, because like his base form, he's just dicking on Naruto.
And he was just like, "Oh, by the way, I don't think you noticed. I haven't even used my Sharingan yet." And Naruto's like, "What?" Oh. Naruto is just. No, never mind. I won't say he was doing well against Kimimaro because Kimimaro was kind of like, "Get the fuck out of my."
Obliterating that dude.
Yeah, yeah, he was.
It's a bit weird because that Nine Tails cloak, like the KN0 as people like to call it, is I don't know if Naruto used that against Kimimaro because he had like the Nine Tails face, and Kimimaro was still like shitting on his clones, but he was able to move faster than Sasuke could keep up with. It was just really weird.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that's 2 Tomoe Sasuke though. 3 Tomoe Sasuke is faster than that Naruto, and by a significant amount. Like his hand-to-hand is fucking insane at that point. And since like pre-KN0, like baby cloak Naruto was able to keep up with Neji in hand-to-hand.
Almost
and then like an amped, highly trained version of Naruto with like an extra layer of Kyuubi chakra wasn't even fast enough to keep up with fucking 3 Tomoe Sasuke.
Yeah.
And like you stack like Curse Mark 2 on top of that.
And the Onyx
Chidori. Yeah. Oh god.
Onyx Chidori,
that shit would obliterate Neji.
Naruto's chakra cloak was able to fucking like shit on the Final Valley, just like tear it to pieces and tear through Sasuke. Like I mean, like there's nothing Sasuke could do. And then all of a sudden, you know, he goes Curse Mark 2 and Naruto's like, oh fuck, I guess my only option is my strongest jutsu.
So
what would Neji do? He couldn't survive a fucking bow and arrow.
Yeah, fuck no. Yeah, he's getting him stopped.
Yeah,
I agree.
Sasuke would shit on any of the Sound 4, no diff.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that Sasuke could probably take on the same sick Kimimaro that Gaara fought, and maybe not beat him, but do well against him.
Yeah, and Kimimaro.
I think he beats him.
In base.
My opinion.
Yeah, I can't see like the Onyx Chidori like piercing through Kimimaro's like solid steel bones, but I think
who knows? It might
do just fine against Kimimaro. And like this is without even taking into account the fact that Sasuke could have used Rock Lee's taijutsu against Naruto, but didn't. Hell, he might have, and Naruto might have been even faster than base weightless Lee. It's like there are a lot of ways you could wank Sasuke in this situation, but you can't really wank Neji. He just like he killed a bunch of spiders, cut through some like chakra sheets, and got soloed by a fucking arrow.
I mean,
correct.
Like I said, Kimimaro in base just like off-screened all 4 of the Sound 4 in their Curse Mark 2s. No diff.
Curse Mark 2s. It was Curse Mark 1.
Curse Mark 1. No diff.
Yeah.
No diff all of them in base, let alone his own Curse Mark 2.
Correct.
And I'm just
yeah.
I'm just saying Gaara killed that motherfucker.
Yeah, he did.
Sasuke was kind of, you know, able
well,
to
he didn't kill him. He didn't
well, yeah,
he died. He outlasted him.
But
yeah,
still
he
he was able to damage him and stuff
yeah, he
like that.
fucked the whole forest.
And he's like, damn, I need to add more bones and shit like that. It's just like, come on.
He, like Mega Saiyan coffin him, you know, almost to
that was dope, yeah.
feet.
Top souls Naruto, thank you. So
when we get into Shippuden though, I mean, like, see, I guess.
Okay, so for Shippuden, my main stance is that base Sasuke is a relative, possibly greater or weaker, your opinion, doesn't matter, to Kakashi or Kabuto. Kakashi and Kabuto being equal or relative to Guy, Guy being superior to Neji, and then Sasuke can use Curse Mark 2 and get over 10 times stronger than that. So
that is true. A good point.
Without considering the fact that he has Sharingan. Okay, so let's.
Oh my god.
I know there are some of you watching right now, they're like, yeah, Neji fucking, he's all over Sasuke, he's Cleveland Steamer, Shippuden Sasuke, he's Chunin, Sasuke still gang. Man, alright, look.
Alright,
Sasuke, like,
by the way guys, they did that to the video, not me.
Shake,
they like sped up their speaking.
Every member of one of the strongest teams at Konoha's disposal, you know, composed of an Anbu Captain Yamato, with the genes of Hashirama, Sai, Sakura, the student of the Hokage, who also was integral in the defeat of Sasori. Well, Sasori kind of got, like, Sasori kind of let himself die, and it was.
He did.
But if Sakura wasn't there, you know, they wouldn't have been able to beat Sasori, so you can give that to her, I guess. And then Naruto, who would later go on to fucking kill Kakazu. I mean, like, and you just have Sasuke just jump down and blitz all of them. Everybody's like, what the fuck? And without even Sharingan. Yeah, without even his Sharingan active to increase his.
Yeah, he was very, very powerful at the beginning of Shippuden compared to like Team 10. Oh, excuse me, Team 7, right?
Astral projection shit into Naruto's mind and suppresses the Nine Tails. And the Nine Tails is like, bruh, you're just like fucking Madara to Sasuke, okay? So he also against Jutsu against Neji. Yeah. That's another big one. Yeah, but I'll get into that argument later. So, you know, he suppresses the Nine Tails. He paralyzes Yamato. Sakura's too shook to fight Sasuke, though. You can, like, chalk that up to her being like, oh, man, I really want his dick right about now. But, I mean, like, Sai, Yamato, Naruto, they can't do anything.
Yeah, Sakura's a simp.
Like, look, I was gonna let him live for your sake, Naruto, so we could bring him back to the village, but he's too dangerous. I have to go all out. And then Sasuke about fucked them all with Kirin. He raises his one-shot all of them. Orochimaru was like, whoa, calm down. You don't have to take it that far. And then Sasuke was just like he throws this little fit. He's like, why not? You don't fucking use Kirin. So, I mean, like, he's got all of the feats that he displayed there, and he's got, you know, Chidori Nagashi, the stream, the omnidirectional lightning release jutsu, Chidori Eso, which is a ranged, like, blade of lightning, Chidori, which is just Chidori Senbon, and, so, you know, he's got all these jutsu, and he also has the fact that he killed Deidara, you know, he didn't kill Deidara Swagkage. Deidara committed suicide. That takes all validity away from the fact that Deidara died after a direct confrontation with Sasuke, clearly. Not like Deidara killed him.
I mean, that was a stronger version of Sasuke. That was him with Absorbed Orochimaru, but yeah, point still stands.
He was so fucking mad about how strong Sasuke was that he killed himself.
Correct.
He was so strong, it made Deidara feel some type of way. He actually committed fucking suicide because he was that mad. Right?
Yeah, he did.
Pretty swole for that. And you can make the argument, well, Neji's Jonin and he's a genius prodigy. He's gotta be swole. 30% Kisame shit on all of Team Guy.
Correct.
Yeah, that's just... And, like, Kisame even thought Deidara was pretty tough as well. Yeah. So it's just... I'm sorry, Neji in Shippuden, he just doesn't have the insane hands. Everyone just assumed that Deidara had killed Sasuke with C0 at the end of that fight. Nobody thought Sasuke could get out of it, but he reverse summoned himself. So, you know, I mean, like, no, Neji just wouldn't beat Deidara. So,
no, hell no, yeah.
Deidara's a ranged fighter, Neji's up close. Well, Sasuke has ranged jutsu, so yeah. Also, he does have air palm. Yeah, he could solo Deidara with air palm. Yeah, I mean,
he wouldn't be close.
What we get into now as well is, I also want to bring up that Sasuke does have summonings, and it's kind of like, what would Neji kind of do against Manda? I don't really know. The strongest of the summonings, the one that was, you know, taking on fucking Gamma Bunta and the Slug at the same time.
Correct.
I think Gamma Bunta that fought a tailed beast. What's he gonna do? Block his chakra points? Like, doesn't even have 128 palms on Manda. Yeah, he doesn't even have chakra. He just has nature energy there. So Manda kind of wrecks, but I mean, these are the same creatures that on the one tail. We haven't even mentioned the fact that Sasuke can get, you know, 10 times stronger than he was when he shit on Team Kakashi by using the curse mark. Yeah, oh yeah, plus Sharingan. Well, he did use his Sharingan halfway through that fight, but, you know. Yeah. Also, like, what the fuck is Neji gonna do against Kirin, exactly?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. We were just memeing the fuck out, saying like, oh yeah, rotation. Can't be bypassed. Kirin won't do anything. The data book says that Neji has equal ninjutsu to Rasen Shuriken and Naruto, so he'll just... No. The data book puts Neji's ninjutsu at 4.5. Oh, it's higher. Yeah, and Naruto's is 4. So he'll spin the Rasen Shuriken away. Neji can block Rasen Shuriken with rotation, obviously.
Oh, God.
Just a little bit of
those data books, man.
So... I mean, a lot of people just have Neji's fucking cock deep down their throat. It's really bad.
I agree. Yeah.
Why don't we talk about 5 Kage Summit versus Neji? Oh my god. Speed Blitz. Rip. Yeah, 64 palms through Amaterasu. Yeah. So, Neji 64 palms the Susanoo. Bruh, there are people who think that you could 64 palm through the Susanoo, and I'm like, bruh. Yeah. Bruh. Well, it nullifies chakra points, and the Susanoo is chakra. Yeah, but it's not chakra points. And anyway, like, I guess the final argument is the Genjutsu argument, and we should probably go over that. Well, we didn't even use any Genjutsu to support the fact that Sasuke, like, Cleveland steamers on Neji's belly. But, like, if you really want to make it an Ultra Stomp, you can say Sasuke can use Genjutsu on Neji. That can manipulate the Nine Tails.
That is true, we didn't even think of Genjutsu.
That could manipulate the Nine Tails. Genjutsu that Neji's obviously immune to because he has the Byakugan, even though Sasuke used Genjutsu on Danzo, a guy with 11 fucking Sharingan and one that possessed the ultimate Genjutsu in the, like, whole fucking world. The Sharingan, is our Sharingan supposed to read through Genjutsu? I thought it was something like that. And he caught Danzo in it. And like, it was a really obvious Genjutsu. He, like, brought Itachi back. And Danzo was actually shook for a second. He was like, Itachi? What the fuck? And then he also has Settle Genjutsu you can use, where he, like, just, like, manipulates small little factors so you don't even know you're under Genjutsu.
Yeah.
So the Byakugan can see through it. Says what? No, it's in every source. Remember that point when Sasuke was fighting Danzo and he was just like, if only I had Byakugan. Thank God he doesn't have a Byakugan.
Oh my god.
Trick him into thinking he still has Izanagi. Remember that time Hinata just resisted the fucking infinite Tsukuyomi because Byakugan? Like, there are people who fucking think that Neji could resist Tsukuyomi with Byakugan even though a Sharingan couldn't resist Tsukuyomi. It's like, what? Yeah, it just makes no sense at all. I don't understand. Kashi of the Sharingan, the guy named after his dojutsu, couldn't resist. Yeah, it's fucking Masters of Genjutsu. Obviously, Neji stomps Prime Hiruzen. He's faster.
Oh god.
Yeah, clearly according to the data book, he could have beaten Pain with his ninjutsu alone. So I think it's pretty clear that everything past like basically like the fourth. Well, we have a special end segment for you. Oh great. Neji with Tensegon versus adult Sasuke. What do you think?
Oh shit.
Okay.
That's quite the scenario.
It's like nerfed Toneri versus adult Sasuke. That's basically all I have to say, is that Toneri fought Bijou, Sage, Naruto, and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't see Neji. Sasuke couldn't do anything except his fucking Sharingan, so give Neji the Tensegon and put him against adult Sasuke. He win. No. Sasuke. No, Renegon just absolutely obliterates. I'm sorry.
Yeah, agreed.
Out of, like, dude, it would be such a bad stop. Yeah,
adult Sasuke, he's on a whole other level. He's god tier Shinobi.
Into some other shit, like fucking Captain Underpants. Captain Underpants. Well, like I was about to say, ends up in fucking Captain Underpants. But Toneri with the Tenseigan, Toneri being a fucking Otsutsuki. God knows how strong he was in base. Like, wasn't his base form like almost as strong as Naruto's base? Yeah, something like that. Naruto with Tenseigan, he's just Biju level base. Naruto's Biju level base. Naruto's stronger than any other Kage base. I think base Naruto. That base Naruto could honestly fight evenly with Hashirama, but that's just me. Anyway, it's just like, yeah, even with the Tenseigan, Neji would get shit on. So, but at least... Give Neji your Rinnegan! Give him the Rinnegan! Give him all of Sasuke's jutsu, but let him keep his jutsu and don't give Sasuke any of his jutsu. Then it's fair. But I still think Neji would lose.
Oh my god.
Obviously, Neji wins because he's smarter than Sasuke, except he's not. Because Sasuke outsmart Deidara, who outsmarted fucking Gaara, who's no intellectual slouch. I can't see, like, Neji honestly, like, chess sleeping on somebody like fucking Deidara, or whatever. You know, like, if they were to sit down and play a game of chess, Sasuke would stomp Neji, dude. It would be really bad. It'd be embarrassing, actually. So. Yeah, pretty embarrassing. Neji's smart, but he's not that smart. So, you guys get one. At the very beginning, Neji does beat Sasuke. Like, low dose.
Yeah.
Iffy, Neji might win, but both of us think Sasuke wins, and then after that, it's just hopeless, dude.
Yeah, he, like I said at the beginning of this video, only as children is this competitive.
Still go with Sasuke.
Oh, wow. Alright, guys, that's the end of the video. That was a good video, even though they did have that weird rant where they sped up the voices and stuff. This is what I assumed coming in. The only chance Neji had was as a child in the Chunin exams, right? He won pretty easily when they're at the beginning of the Chunins. He might win in the finals of the Chunins. After that, it's fucking stops. Like, it's pretty crystal clear. Now, Neji's one of those characters I wish that we could have seen become something greater. You know, now, at the beginning of Shippuden, we don't really see what Neji's capable of. So I understand the mystery. But to say that he's stronger than Sasuke, it's not correct. So he got completely clocked by a 30% Chakra clone of Kisame. Kisame, he is superior to Deidara, right? He's superior to Deidara. Deidara, who almost killed Sasuke with absorbed Orochimaru, right? With absorbed Orochimaru, almost killed him. So there's just no way that Neji beats that. There's no way. He can't beat him. He just can't beat him after a pretty quick amount of time. He's head over heels superior to Neji. And I really like Neji. I wish he could have, like I said, become something greater. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I really don't have anything to say. It's a complete clap. And in Shippuden, Sasuke wins 9.5 out of 10 times, maybe close to 10. You know, and like I always say, in an infinite domain of endless possibilities, nothing is ever concrete. Nothing. So I never really say 10 out of 10, but this one's damn near 10 out of 10. Like 9.9 out of 10 times. Like, Neji has a lottery ticket chance of winning. You know, you got a better chance of being struck by lightning. So it's going to wrap it up, guys. There really is nothing else to say. My assumption coming in was probably this. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. Once again, thank you for the recommendation. It's still very interesting to see. In that one scenario where it was competitive, was very interesting to think about. There's a lot of variables that are unknown, and you got to use some head canon, right? But I love you all, and if you guys have any other recommendations, let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next video. This is Jay signing out. Peace.